And anyways, this video will be there for you all to help. Cool. So this is about it's a showcase for custom certificates feature, how you can use it. It's a closed door showcase for now, only for the folks who have expressed interest in and reached out that you would like to try. So it's only for those small number of folks. After you all trying it out and getting and getting feedback on those things. If there's any improvements we need to make, we'll do those things and then we'll release it for all. So we have a time duration of like 1.5, 2 months for us to try this out and see if there's any kinks and things that we need to improve on. I'll quickly share the overall agenda. We'll quickly give a peek of what's there under the hood, like not go into detail, but what happens when we use this webhook and what kind of stuff happens in the background, and then what all things you need to be aware of as you set it up. We'll have a quick demo and then we'll talk about like whatever are the limitations right now, and how you can somehow like workarounds that you have thought of, because a bunch of you have reached out to try it out, and it's something that you want to try out, so we wanted to make sure we release it as soon as possible, and then whatever questions that may be there. So with that, that's the thing, but I'm just curious, like, here are a few voices before I get started. Would you like to quickly share about like how are you thinking of using it, and what do you think this having certificates or sharing certificates with your user, and for what are the various purposes you are hoping to give them this appreciation or like this tokens or mementos. So if you're happy to unmute and share some use cases, it'll really add to the richness of this call. Yeah, go ahead, Puneet. Yeah.
Hey, hi. Hey, thank you so much, Tejas, for having this call. So we are in an exploratory phase. So I'm part of India Partner Network, where it's a capacity building platform for the NGOs across different domains. And as of now, it's a low touch model, as in, it's more like, for example, Coursera, right? Like people can come in and look at different modules across their organization, and then they should be able to learn whatever they want to learn. So to move need a little bit, we want to see if there is like little bit more than low touch. Can we do something using Glyphic? So we have been using Glyphic for the past like 1.5 2 months now, where we
Okay.
are giving news and updates, all of those things. Now we want to see if there is a better way to engage with the non-profits. For example, imagine there is a bunch of questions that there is a person who has gone through a particular course, not course, but like a video on proposal writing or something, and then
Right.
we want to ask certain questions, and then if they answer those questions right, it's more like a incentive, right? Like we give them the certificate and tell them that you have answered this question in this module, and here's your badge or something. So like a
Right.
positive reinforcement for them to know that they are in the right path in understanding that particular concept of sorts. And
Right.
also we want to see if there is like a micro learnings or customized. So we also have assessments, okay,
Right.
assessments across fundraising and M&E, and people who
Okay.
have already taken those assessments, if we
Right.
can build a plan on, okay, like you have taken this assessment and this is where your maturity stands at, and for you to reach to the next level you should go through this resources. And once they
Got
go
it.
through that resources, from the
Got it.
back end, if we are able to capture that information and give them this like
Right.
certificate, like it's again like a positive reinforcement. This is the use case that we are thinking of as of now.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you so much, Puneet. That's our hope. That this allows a bit of positive reinforcement to happen, and with the larger goal of increasing engagement with the chatbot.
Right.
For
Yeah.
and most NGOs are using it for something like education, something like healthcare, behavior change, and all those things. So hopefully, like, this is one step towards increasing engagement and then positively enforcing those behaviors through these certificates or badges.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Puneet. In interest of time, we'll quickly go ahead. Like, I mean, this may feel like overload immediately, but just to give you like what happens under the hood, and then we look at the process once more and like the steps once again, and then this will make a lot more sense. But the way you're able to use this is within your flows, we call a particular webhook to create a certificate and share that to create a certificate and share the image, generate a file which has the personalized info of the person who is passing that node in the flow. So when the webhook is triggered, the webhook contains like the template ID. Template ID is the basically like it is this is like template ID is the one which has information of like the Google slide template, which has which contains the design, and then some other information like what are the like what information from Glyphic backend needs to be replaced and put on the design template for the user. So yeah, those things happen. The variable substitution happens basically like on the template we expect. If you want the name, age, date to be printed, then put those as placeholders, variables like 1, 2, 3 like that. And sorry. And then once this operation is successful, it generates the thumbnails, uploads it to the Google Cloud storage of your organization, and then the image is sent to the user. So all this thing, like all these steps happen in the background. We don't have to worry a lot about this. We just have to know how to set it up so that all the right accesses are there to the Glyphic platform from in your Google Cloud Studio, and enable few APIs, and then use the webhook correctly and know what payload needs to be sent. So this is at a high level, what happens under the hood without making it too complicated. We'll quickly go ahead into the setup part of into the setup part. So once again, I'll just like share my entire screen. But essentially, in order to set up, first we have to like do a setup on the Google Cloud platform. So as all of you are aware, um, there is BigQuery and Google Cloud Storage. These are the two main services we use on Google Cloud platform. So and now we have to also set up enable the Google Drive API for the project that your Glyphic like for the project which has contains the Glyphic's Google Cloud bucket and the BigQuery, as well as you have to enable the Google Slides API. So the steps for how to enable this, I'll just like take you through. I've put it on the um, 1 second. How do I share my entire screen? Yeah, okay. I hope you're able to see my entire screen along with all the other tabs.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So, yeah. So the basic requirement is a Google Cloud in the Google Cloud Studio in the right project. This is not the right project. This is like it won't be called my first project. It will have some name like Glyphic SaaS, or like whatever the name you had decided when you were setting up the Google Cloud Storage platform. So so you can go to this like you have to in the API basically like make sure you're in the right project. You can once you're in the right project, you can go to API and services, and and from there you can search for Google Cloud API and Google Slides API, enable it, and then search for Google Drive API and enable these two APIs. Those are the first two steps that you have to do. And then the third step is creating a new service account. New service account, also the details are mentioned here. In the API and services, you can go to credentials and then create credentials, select service account. So yeah, like so all these screens you will find select service account, and yeah, like give it a name, give it like a create certificate name, and give it the editor access. Search for editor access, and then yeah, like basically we have to search for it, select the editor access, and complete the creation of service account by selecting done. Then you have to yeah, like get the keys and like create a new key. Select the JSON format for that key, and basically this downloads the key into your system. A key will look something like this. It'll be like a long JSON file. This is important, like at least for one time you need to like save it on your computer. So basically these are the first three steps. Again, like right now it's sounding complicated, but once you start to do it, it's fairly simple. Just but want to make sure that you are aware that like you can find the steps on the documentation. The next step is like setting up on Glyphic. So on Glyphic, you will find a provider called Google Slides. So you have to activate the Google slide and copy this entire key into this what's called Goth credentials, and save this thing. So that pretty much completes the setup on Google Cloud as well as on the Glyphic platform. So this is like the background stuff which we needs to happen. Only then we can start using the webhook and the template and anything else in the flows on the platform. So before I go ahead, do you have any questions on this bit? If you don't have any questions, you can just use the chat box and say no questions. If yes, you can unmute and share, and yeah, that will be fine.
Uh, Tejas, I had a question.
Yeah.
Here, basically, for existing organization, we have to, like, there will be two service account created. Because one
Yeah.
service account is already created and linked with GCS ka thing. And
Yeah.
so that won't impact. Like, if we create a new service account also, that syncing of data from Glyphic, that won't impact. The second I had, there was one more doubt I had, like for example, a new organization comes in and we do the process from scratch. At that place also, we have to create two service accounts or one service account creating. Like I understand the enabling part, so I'm coming from there. Like I enable Google Sheet API, I go enable Google Slides, and my task is done. So.
Um, so actually for the actually like just for, actually for this time we can suggest them to follow these steps altogether. So for new organizations, they'll have to create a separate Google service account. The reason being, the old service account also will work. Like, I mean, it's okay to create just one service account, but in order for us to like do better tracking and logging and things like that, it's just a good practice to have two service accounts. This service account will not interfere with any Google Sheets related things. So it's just a better practice to have two service accounts created, one for Google Sheets and one for or like Google Sheets or BigQuery and all those things, and one for Google Slides, and creating and like making changes to certificates, and yeah, so that's the reason. It's okay, we can use the previous one also, but it's just better practice to have two service accounts created.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, can you help me if there's any questions in the chat? If not, you can let me know. My computer is
No questions from like. We
okay.
can go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So once the setup is done on Google Cloud as well as like in the Glyphic settings, this pretty much is sets up the platform for you to use it. Then comes the major bit on how to use the design templates. And one of the limitations that we have right now is that the template needs to be in a Google Slides file. So the link that we copy and the like the what we use, it has to be a Google Slides file. I know it's not the most common platform. Google Slides is not the most common platform for designing and creating stuff. But in order to like make it the fastest release, and it has like the APIs with which we can like replace the placeholders and create, and then Google Cloud is also like already there in the already linked. Google Cloud platform is already linked. So it was like the easiest choice for us to go ahead and use Google Slides. And also we explored that it's possible to import designs from other softwares into Google Slides and then use it that way. So we'll have to, so the next step is just wherever you're creating the design template, whether it's Canva, whether it's Adobe, whether it's any other design, Figma or whatever. The next step is to import the, I think so like the step would be like you have the design file. For example, so like considering Canva is like the most used, freely available and simplest thing to use. So Canva is a place. So let's say like you have a simple design created like this in Canva. What you need to do is you need to download this as a PPT. If the PPT is not there, you can also find it in.
It's at the bottom, right? PPTX.
Yeah. For some reason, my laptop is very slow right now, but yeah, you can. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed it because of the thing. So yeah, you can download it as PPT, and as you can see, like, just make sure that your design has these, like the placeholder values where you want. So like, I want the name to come here, so I've kept it as 1 under curly braces. Another thing is like I want like for this particular piece, I have like 2 and 3. Here I'll put date, and here I'll put like let's say the designation, for example. So like this is my template that I have decided to like use. So you can download it as PPT, and yeah, and then you can import it in Google Slides. So make sure that you're saving it in a drive, Google Drive, which is of your organization's email ID. So I'm sure all of us have Google for nonprofits, and so use the Google Drive of your Google, I mean, like of your organization, and store it in. Create the slide, like let's say like so. Create a new slide over here, and then use like follow these steps to import the thing. So like there's something called as import slides, and then upload it thing. So like again, like these steps are asking me to follow these steps. I know there's other ways to like import it, but these steps, because we were able to like replicate the like without any issues using these steps. There was like some of the other minor issues that came up in other like other ways of doing it. So if you're able to replicate these steps exactly, then the chances of like issues coming up and like errors coming up, it reduces a lot. Because there are minor like access issues or other small things that may come up, for which we are able to like solve. If you share it on Discord and stuff, we are able to solve them. But this is just like a process that we have found that it's replicable. It works consistently all the time. So you have this. This thing is imported, and this is the link which is going to be used on the Glyphic platform. So this is the thing, and just FYI, there are other ways if you want to like make it a batch format or make it a portrait or this format. Either you can have it like first, obviously you have to have the design template in that format in your design software, and then you can also like change the orientation of the slide before you import it by going to page setup, and then change it by going to custom, and then yeah, like pixels, or like pixels is like the most easiest how do you say, like like thing to, so like whatever is the the aspect ratio of your design file, you can make it similar so that so that when you're importing it, like it doesn't like change the like the aspect ratio, and like it doesn't get distorted. Obviously, few things which are like Google style limitations are that like the font may not be as fancy, so you can like come up with like whatever other fonts are there. And then it is possible to like import new fonts into Google Slides. So I think there's another, like you can find enough YouTube videos to like import any other fonts into the Google Slides of your own this thing. So yeah, so that's that's like the second thing. That's how you can import. And then one major step is let's say like, okay. Yeah, so I'll just name this for now, showcase template. And then the second major step is that we have to give the client email. I mean the email, like the service account that we had created. There's like a client email in that. We have to give it editor access of the template to that. So as you can see, like in this service service key, there is something called as client email. And then this is the one, this is the email ID where we have to give it the edit access. So this will be separate for each of you. For now, in the way it's set up, this one, the client email associated is it's this one. So I'm just giving editor access. So essentially, this sets up the Google, like the template. Now it can be used in Glyphic. So so in order to like import the template in Glyphic, we have to so we go to like on the Glyphic platform, in the under flows, there's a new, like for your orgs, there'll be a new page added called certificates. In certificate, you go to create and you give it a title. Description is optional, and you can like you paste the URL which was taken from the page 2, like the page which has the template. We take this URL. I'm just like reminding you, like take this URL, don't take this, don't take the URL from share and copy link. Wages that we have found that this URL is the most, like taking this URL is the most consistent way that doesn't give issues. And also like one of the important things is, like just to share some tidbit, like as you can see, this slide is equal to id.g3eeb6. So like this code is what helps us to it references like the location in the Google Drive of this slide, and using this code we are able to like make a copy of this slide and then replace the variables and stuff like that. So that's why I copy this URL, not through share. And it just like makes it a little more consistent in not giving any errors. So we paste this URL over here and we save it. So now this template is available for use in the platform. From here we can go to the link, but the copy ID is one of the things. So like is where you can just copy the ID of this certificate, and that ID will be used in the flows. Before I go ahead, does anyone have any questions? Yeah, if yes, feel free to just unmute and share. If not, you can let me know in the chat box.
Just one quick question. Since you said that there is a copy that we created based on the slide ID, does that mean that it is not going to be dynamic in such a way that, let's say I make changes to the certificate at a later point in time, there needs to be a sync or something like that that I need to do every now and then after a change is made, or how does it work?
No. So I experimented with it. Like whatever change I make in the certificate, like the change is reflected in the thing. You don't have to sync it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
yeah, you can try it out. Like from my testing, like we can also try it out if we have time. But yeah, like, so if
Uh-huh.
we remove this slide, like let's say like if we remove one webhook, so so basically yeah, it doesn't change. You don't have to sync it. You can link it and then yeah, but like just like but because like if you change the number of placeholders or things like that, then your webhook will be affected. So at the webhook level, you might have to be careful. But let's say you can like link one template and make the design changes, anything, that's fine. It's okay. But if you
Okay,
change like the
okay, makes sense.
entire slide, like import a new, like let's say like do another import, let's say, and yeah, like have another like a third template only in this one, for example. I don't know how it will respond in that situation right now because I have not tested so much. But in that case, it's advisable to let's say like create another batch, like another design template, because you can create as many design templates as you want. Does that help?
Right. And it's going to be like the whole presentation.
Mm. Sorry, your voice is breaking, Gokul. Is it just
Right.
for me?
No,
No,
it's
we are
talking.
so able to hear Gokul.
You're able
Hi,
to hear
can you hear
Gokul's
me?
voice?
No, it's talking.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, no, I was just asking, is it the URL that we are copying, is it slide specific or is it the PPT specific?
It's
Because when it says slide ID 2, does it change when you go to slide ID 1 or?
yeah, it changes. So like I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
since we are here, it changes on this one. But like the main thing is, I'll just share you like one main issue. In the first, like the root slide, in some cases, like it comes as slide ID dot p. Now
Got it.
this is the one which is going to like this is the one who is going to cause an error because it doesn't have any other information on the slide ID dot something. So if I try
Makes
to
sense.
create a template with this one, it'll give me an error because we observed that if we use this type of slide if this of the first link, it doesn't work. So I'll
Got it.
just show.
Got it.
Yeah, so let's say like I go to certificates. And I think since we know that this causes error, so we have tried to like capture it before only.
Okay.
And it'll say like and so there are steps here to resolve. But the idea is like
Oh,
if you slide
nice.
dot p, then it won't accept only. And what you
Okay.
can do is like what happens is just to like I'll just show you from my experiment is like now I have slide 1 and slide 2, and the slide 2 has this id dot whatever like larger thing, and first one has id dot p. Now if I just remove this slide also because I have the second slide, if I let's say like delete this slide, this one takes
Uh-huh.
it, but if this one becomes the first one, but if I refresh, then this becomes like a thing. So like so
Mhm.
it's slightly complicated, but the idea is like
Got it.
we want to have a slide which is which doesn't like like a link which has a slide id dot g and then a
Makes sense.
larger thing.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So those things will come up, and yeah, I think it's the thing is you can change the like you don't have to sync the same slide if you like if you make any changes on this thing you don't have to sync it. It gets updated dynamically. So you don't have to worry about that. Like you can
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Okay. So
Sounds
so
good.
we have um okay. Any other questions? If not, then we'll go ahead. Um. So now we have to use this. We have a certificate template which we have like our setup is done. Certificate template is ready. We have imported it into like we have the template is there in the Google in the Glyphic. Now we have to use it as a in the flow. So to in order to generate the certificate, there's a webhook. There's a function like so we have to go use call a webhook function, call a webhook node in that use function, and there's a thing called create underscore certificate. So details of these are given in like good description on the in the thing. So like create certificate, and then you can go to function body, and then the function body has following parameters to pass certificate ID, contact, and replace text. And then replace text is like explained fairly detailed over here. But that's the idea. Depending on how many, so we save this thing, and the function body may we pass the certificate ID. Certificate ID is what we get from copying the certificate ID in that one. You keep contact, you leave contact and add contact as it is. And then there's a dictionary for like replace texts. So replace text is like the whatever placeholders are there, like 1, 2, 3. You can pass either contact variables or flow variables, or you can even pass like static values in this thing. So for example, instead of like having this one, I can always pass like Tejas, and it will always print Tejas or no matter what name. So you can use it in any of those ways. Yeah. So that's how. Yeah. So that is the way. Okay. 1 second. I have made some changes. JSON validator. Okay, so yeah, like something is missing over here. So I just didn't realize that yeah. So anyways, contact ID, I mean certificate ID was missing for now. Okay, I've added two because that was the one earlier there. Anyway, so this is how we can do this. So few things to make sure, obviously, like the number of placeholders that are there on your template. Make sure that you have the same number of placeholders in your webhook call, and so that is like the first basic check. And it like we are not able to catch that, we are not able to validate that. So in case there's like a mismatch, like if there's less number of, like suppose if I don't pass the third one over here, then the third one, like the 3 will get printed as it is on the certificate, like it'll get printed as 3 over here, and it won't replace anything. Yeah, so I would like, so just be careful about like those things, like try it out before you actually uh, use the webhook. That would be my suggestion. And other thing is, what we are not able to check right now, but I have shared a workaround is, for example, in this template, if if you're sending it for, let's say, 1,000 contacts, and if you're using a contact variable, and the contact variable, so suppose if I use the contact variable called contact dot fields dot, let's say, AB gender, for example, and imagine like for that particular contact, like this AB gender contact does not exist. Like there is no value for this contact. There's no male or female, no other value is there. Then this will get printed as it is. So like that is the second thing we need to be aware of. So for that, I have like, we have shared like an expression where you can check, like just replace the values of the variables that you're passing. You can put them over here, and this checks whether for that person it exists or no. And if it is true, that means for them the thing doesn't exist, and you should not generate the certificate, because it will lead to a certificate which is going to look which won't have their actual, like which won't have a value. So it'll look something like this, for example. Right now I'm just like sharing an example, and I've not put the validation over there. As you say, I changed the variable that I'm passing, and I'm expecting, so if you see in the webhook, For 1, 2, 3, I have like for 1 it is like fields dot ab gender. In 2 it's designation, like the one with the question that I have asked earlier, and 3 is the date, current date. So so that's what should be printed. But as you can see, like the AB gender is not existing for this contact, so it will print something like this. And we don't want such things to be printed. So what we can do is we can catch such errors by including it in this type of like like a split by expression. And okay, so I've added a validation to check whether AB gender, which is the thing I want to be printed on certificate, is there or no. And if it doesn't exist for that particular contact, it should take me to this credentials not present. I should give me that output, and not share the certificate which is wrongly not containing the details. Okay. Again, like so, this thing I've set up as an example flow. Mm, okay, so yeah, it caught that one of the certificates was not present, and again, like this is for demo purposes. Um, in for your real life use cases, you will have to figure out how to handle those situations where for a particular, like out of 1,000, maybe for like 5 people, the certificate is like some of their contact variable is not present or some value is not present, and then give them a relevant message where, and then you are able to have a flag over here, or like say update the field for something so that you're able to figure out for which contact it didn't go, and then like update those variables or ask them to enter the value again. So like but again, like the idea is like we want to prevent people from wrongly getting such like values which are like which kind of like render the certificate use. So that's one of the things that I wanted to share. But essentially that's how you can use this thing, function, and then there's like create certificate function. Use the function body to put these certificate ID, contact, and replace text. Replace text should have a like a JSON which has the placeholder and what values need to be replaced on the template. And then one more validation is just to like make sure that the API is working. So use a speed by expression and use that results dot. This is a webhook name. So as you can see right now, the webhook name is result. So if I change it to something else, then that will get changed. But like let's say like certificate webhook. So if we have this, then we'll have to just make sure that this split by expression is changed to now certificate webhook dot success. And if this contains true, that means the webhook is passed, and then you have to in the attachment section, the attachment is how we are able to send media. So in order to send the media, you use expression, and then yeah, and then the param which we get in the response payload is called certificate underscore URL. So let's say like certificate webhook, and that is the thing. And then for this certificate underscore URL. So you always have to use whatever webhook name is there, dot certificate underscore URL, and that generates the this one, the certificate. I'll bypass this for now, and I will change this thing just to give you like a Okay. So now I've made it so that this one will like just ask me two questions, replace those values of my name and my designation, and yeah, give me that certificate. And right now I've just done it so that like I'm inserting some values, but you can also like use contact variables or just replace directly like static values. You don't have to like enter all results value. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as I do this, if you have any questions, you can let me know by raising your hands. As you can see, it has like name, product manager, Glyphic, and then today's date. So it has replaced those three variables and provided the thing. Also, like, this is like an older template, so that's why like the font you're seeing is older, but we can quickly try it out with the latest template that we had created and see that one also. So for example, I had created this. This is a showcase certificate. That's the latest template that I had created. So I'll copy the UID from here. Sorry, folks. Right now, for some reason my laptop is like behaving super slow. Thank you for your patience. So it's changed that. So basically now it's using this format. Basically like this template. Let's say we can try to change the format and like let's see if like it changes dynamically on the thing. That's something we can try it out as we are this like in the process only. But yeah, I'm open to like taking questions. If you have any questions, if you have any confusions, if you would like to share any suggestions, we can consider it for now as we like, but I don't know how much we'll be able to change at the moment. But we'll try to bring it in as we like release it for all whatever feedbacks that you have. Yes, Manit.
Hi, Tejas. So, my question is not, I mean, specifically not related to this. I just want to clarify that have you seen any other NGOs, the use case that I mentioned, right? Like a quiz or like a question answered, and if they get a certain score, to validate that score and then send out something. So, is there this use case which has been tried on Glyphic before?
ATC, so we developed this specifically for ATECF, and yeah, like this, the use case is similar to what you explained. There's like they're like I think they're on ground community folks. They're going through like a training module. So they'll get a YouTube video link through Glyphic chatbot. They will watch the video. They will answer three questions, and then they'll do this for like 5, 6 such modules. And if they pass a certain score based on the correct answers that they gave, then they'll be shared the certificate. Essentially, that's the use case for which we developed this one. And but it's not yet implemented as like we released it only last week. So that's implementation is something that we will undertake in the coming like 1 week to 15 days.
Understood. Is Aditya Jain the spot for that?
Aditya, I think Aditya, you should be able
Yes.
to explain. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, of course, not on this call. I just from the back end perspective, I just wanted to understand like how it is set, like the logic setup. I just wanted to understand. If Aditya doesn't mind, I mean, we can connect offline later. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Tejas.
Yes. Yes, Puneet. Also, like we are having another webinar like next week on how to make most of this logic, like like how to like incorporate counters, like how to check like based on correct answer, wrong answer, update certain values. And so while you can see other ETCS flow, but we're also having another webinar for that, so you can
Right.
also like join that.
Definitely. Yeah, I just said 24th, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like happy to take any other questions, and if you have any other doubts. Yeah, and then I have just one last thing to share, and then we can then close this webinar. If you have no questions, you can, yes, Atira, go ahead.
Yeah, just one question with respect to the certificate which is displayed, right? So,
Yeah.
instead of just the picture being shared with them, is it anyway it is taking the URL from the Google Cloud, right? So, is it also possible for us to capture that URL itself?
Captured, so the URL is present in this variable in the response.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I just right now, instead of like putting as an attachment, if I just write results dot certificate book dot certificate URL, this will print the Google Cloud Studio URL.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like it'll just print the URL, but URL printed is not like it won't create the thing, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it will not come as a URL. It will be printed, is it?
No, it'll come as a URL. But yeah, basically then it'll take someone to another thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like a Google Cloud Storage URL. But this is something that they can download, and then this becomes like, so this picture, this is something they can download, and it's on their local storage. But this
But
this
the
one,
use case I was thinking is, say we are engaging a user and they are leveling up, right? Like level
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
level 2, so that
Yeah.
same URL
Correct.
gets updated based on the current status.
Correct. So yeah, like I think so the in that case, like the Samaja like profiles is the much better fit. And we are like exploring a collaboration with ReBenefit on that. So yeah, like hopefully like in the next 1 year we are able to like bring something like that also in, so that like other NGOs are able to use it. But yeah, like right now it isn't that use case. Right now it's like right now it's like it won't be like a coherent journey, but because we are aware that coherent journey is important to track for a user. So what we have tried to do, at least for now, is there are two usually webhook calls and like these details are not like tracked, but we have introduced two new tables which will track. I mean, one is like the certificate templates that are getting added, and then there are issued certificates. So that we are able to track for a particular from a user perspective, or from a like from a user perspective, we are able to track like how many like as you can see, there's like a template ID and a phone number and the GCS URL. So like let's say if you just like filter on a phone number, like how many certificates they have unlocked. So at least at an aggregate level, you are able to, as an organization, know who are the active and engaged user. Yes, this isn't the best user experience for the user, because for them it's like separate, like separate badges and stuff like that, not added in the same profile. But we are hoping that we can bring something like that, in this year. Or in the next like 6 to 12 months is where we are hoping.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Atira. Yeah. So yeah, so those are the like I think this is the last bit of information that I wanted to share. That there are these two new tables. One is called certificate templates and issued underscore certificates. And issued underscore certificates will hopefully like based on whoever you share it to, you are able to if there's any errors, so you are able to like we are hoping that there won't be errors. But in case there are, like with whatever like small reasons, you are able to like, at least for those people who did not get it, you're able to find out. And also for those people who have been engaged with you for a long time, who have gotten these certificates, where you are able to like identify those engaged users through these tables. So those are like the major aspects that I wanted to cover and share with you all. Yeah, open for more questions. Maybe we have like 4 more minutes. So yeah, if there's any questions, happy to take them now. Okay, if there are no questions, then yeah, feel free to then we can drop off. Thank you so much. It's enabled for your all organizations. And if you have any further questions, you can always reach out on the Discord channel, and we'll happy to help you out. Thank you all.
I just,
Yeah.
the documentation was very clear and I could implement it. This is now not regarding the certificate bit, but has
Okay.
again the templates, like Meta has changed something, is it? Because right now I'm trying to create the HSM in utility, and for the certificate bit itself, or I don't know if there is certificate in the text it's getting done, but it's getting approved as marketing itself.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
If you
I
can
think
later look into it. Yeah.